The following is a presentation of 13ABC Action News. Now, your table is ready. Join 13ABC's Jeff Smith with the decision makers of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. This is the Roundtable.
Good Sunday morning to you. I'm Bill Horman sitting in for Jeff Smith this week, and we're fortunate to have three really interesting topics on the program this morning. Tax collections in the state of Ohio are up, but more importantly, here in the city of Toledo, we're generating more income than we expected. We'll tell you why coming up a little bit later. We'll also talk about presidential politics in Ohio with the two local party chairmen. But we're going to start this morning with a project along the river in downtown Toledo. It's the Promenade Park project, and the man who's overseeing construction of that project, which begins, I guess, in about 10 days, is Dave Dysert with the Engineering Services Department, City of Toledo. This is really kind of sandwiched in Promenade Park between the casino and the Ironville terminal in the northern, well, I guess it's closer to Lake Erie. We're kind of sandwiched in between that with this project here. Tell me about the synergy from the casino to Ironville.
Well, there's a lot of really positive development happening along the riverfront right now, and you're absolutely right. A keystone sort of centerpiece in that whole section along the riverfront in Toledo is Promenade Park. It's access from downtown, from Summit Street, to the river. It's the first view you have from Walbridge Park as you come north. The next time you get the chance to really see and appreciate the river is at Promenade Park.
And a lot of people have been to Promenade Park. We go there for the rib-off, we go there for the concerts, we go there sometimes just to have fun and look at the river. But what are we going to do over the next, well, how long will this project be, this renovation project?
We're going to start right after the holidays. We wanted to leave everything in place for the July 4th celebration so everyone can come downtown and enjoy downtown. And then we'll start construction in earnest right after the holiday. And it will continue through till September, end of September, early October.
Now, we're all familiar with the landscape there. You have Summit Street, which appears to be at an elevation.
It is.
Then Promenade Park drops off to the river. What are you going to do to even that out?
And that's exactly what we want to accomplish with this project. It's really exciting. A number of years ago, the federal building was raised that used to sit in the block between Water Street and Summit Street, Jefferson and Madison. When that was removed, we filled back in, but we left a depression. It comes down from Summit Street to the elevation of Water Street and then comes back up and then down Promenade.
So you're going to
there.
level that out?
We're going to level that out so that it will be a gradual incline from the river up to Summit Street. And that will really help to bring the park together. It will double the size of the park. And what we want to do is to lay out the landform so that we can come back next year with a second phase to the project and create small spaces that will work at the top of the park that can work as individual sort of rooms, outdoor rooms that people can enjoy just to come down and relax and enjoy things, but also that can be part of the bigger park for the big celebrations like a July 4th or a concert at the stage or something like that.
Okay, so we're going to level that out. Then what are we going to do to attract people down to that area? You got to do more than just have a level piece of ground.
Well, a couple of things that will happen. We'll set the stage for that with this project, and a couple of things that we are doing. Our administration, we've worked with council and have just recently secured some additional funding to have water and electricity brought to the docks that will be right there by the park so that visitors by boat can come in and enjoy the park. The other thing is that this is the first of several phases of work on the project, and a couple of things that we want to do is we want to have a interactive water feature, a fountain, if you will, a area that the kids can play with the water and enjoy the water and have a sculpture, sort of Millennium Park in Chicago, but scaled appropriately to the size of Promenade Park in the city of Toledo.
But you're going to need more of an entertainment attraction than just a fountain, though.
The last phase of the project that we're going to work to see if we can find some private sponsors to work with us is to relocate the stage, to move it so that it's not having its back to the river, but move it over to the Jefferson Street side of the park and to recreate that stage into a much more better entertainment venue and take it to the side over by Jefferson Street and set up a more flexible stage space and use that so we can set that back up for entertainment venue outside.
The total price tag on this is about $6 million. How much do you have right now?
We have 2.1 million.
You're a far cry from $6 million, though. What
Well,
if we can't find this extra money?
There are a number of sources that we can pursue in terms of grants and public side funding. But the thing that we'd like to do is follow a model that has been used successfully with Huntington Arena, Fifth Third Field, where we partner with the private sector to raise funding for the project, and in turn, there is name recognition as part of the
So
deal.
it might not
whatever.
be Promenade Park any longer?
Well, it might
be called
be
something
the something stage, the Bill Horman stage. If you got a couple million sitting
Yeah,
around, Bill.
If I did, I would invest it in the park. But is that wise? I mean, it sort of takes the charm out of what has been known as Promenade Park. Why do we want to commercialize it like that just to get it built?
Well, there are two choices. I mean, if we cannot raise the funding through other means, I guess it's better to have the name but have it done than to have a great non-commercialized feature, but we don't have the funding to sustain it or to build it.
Well, if you have the funding to build it, how long would the whole project take?
Well, if the funding could be raised, it would be about a 3-year project. But again, that depends on how the funding comes in and how we can phase it. We have enough at this point. The phase that it's starting this year will put the basic landform in place and set the stage for all this other exciting development, and that will happen. And then we do have a residual in the grant, about another 1.7 million that we will be using next year to put in landscaping, walks, and other features. Again, we want to keep setting the stage, building the foundation that as more funding is obtained, either through public side sources or through private side, naming, whatever, that we can build elements and build the park sort of in modules as we can fund them to get to the eventual vision of this beautiful centerpiece.
Yeah, so
there's
this
so
is-
many exciting things going on right now in that area.
Yeah.
The
Well,
water
let's talk
station
about
development.
Fiberglass Tower. We've got about a minute left.
Just heard about
Fiberglass
that.
Tower is right across the street. The county commissioners are fixing up that garage, and now you're going to have like a $30 million project in the Fiberglass Tower, the tower on the Maumee, which it works perfectly with your park.
And we believe that this park development is part of the overall package that really helps to allow those things to happen.
Right.
The investments in the Ford Industry Square, the Water Street Station that's being discussed, and now the Fiberglass Tower. An essential element of that is the environment around it, and what we are doing to recreate that space, to freshen it up, to give it new life and energy is part of that whole package. So it goes hand in hand.
Well, it's a domino. It's the park, it's the Fiberglass Tower, it's the Water Street Station, it's restaurants and bars that populate along that, and people who flock downtown and spend their money and have fun downtown again.
Yes.
Dave Dysert is with Engineering Services, talking a little bit about Promenade Park and Fiberglass Tower projects this morning. Dave, thank you very much.
Glad to be here.
They really kind of fit in with our next segment, which has to do with tax collections up in the city of Toledo. Why is that happening? Talk with Clarence Coleman when we come back.